multiple spaces all at once. Peace. Okay. So first disclaimer, I have on a gel face mask. The reason for it is because I just do. If I would have stopped, then I probably wouldn't have been able. Peace, girl. I probably wouldn't have been able to. Y'all, I'm getting all type of calls. I'm gonna have to put my phone on do not disturb. Uh, I probably wouldn't have been able to keep the message. All right. So, um, I be talking to you, so I don't know if you just heard what I said. I hope that you did. Oh no, not tonight. Not tonight. You said, "Where's our whole girl? Love when she invades the lives. These be her lives, and she knows it." Um. Ooh. Okay. So I'm gonna try my best to stay focused. All right. So Source was basically talking to me. I pulled some cards. I actually put the cards up, but I'm gonna pull them back out because they're telling me to pull them back out. And the reason why I'm gonna share the cards is because I always pull cards, y'all, when I be needing like extra clarity and you know, but they gave me two topics, so I'm gonna put these two topics up. So this feels so weird, y'all. When I be listening to Spirit and I feel like they be having me out here. I got this face mask on, so my face is drying and it's tightening up, but it's gonna keep me mindful of my time. Um, they wanted me to talk about commitment phobia as well as dedication and stagnation. I think that was the second one. I wrote it down, but I'm not where it was at. But also, I wanted to talk about basically staying in this space that you've created. First of all, when you recognize that you need for no thing, is when you open up to receiving everything. If you could allow yourself 215, as I said that, thank you, Spirit. If you could allow yourself to be in a space where you could be able to receive that, where you could honor that, you're in a good position to where you could actually be representing from your faith, to grace, favor, to glory. And the reason why that's important right now at this time, Spirit said that as I've come for you, I asked you to remember to supersede any digressions and also be aware of the things that show up wrapped in familiarity, desiring for you to forget what we had previously discussed. So, a lot of times we have confirmation in spirit, we have um, you don't receive the message. You have a dream, you have a goal that you're working towards, you have a new idea that you're committed to, and you've been faithful for this thing. And sometimes, like Spirit says, it's like the faith of a mustard seed. And a lot of us don't recognize how long we hold on to this mustard seed. And when you release the time frame with things, Spirit has peace. When you release the time frame with things, Spirit has the ability to supersede any and everything because you are not limited and because you're not holding on to anything. But a lot of times we have these desires to want to have approval of what it is that we've been deciding. And a lot of that isn't allowed anymore. And the reason why it's not allowed is because who domain do we in now, y'all? Um, y'all might not know what these cards is, but I want y'all to see the energy. And if I try to show them to you separately, you won't see the lineup. And sometimes we don't be individually set up. Sometimes there's a lineup that has been committed to what it is that we doing. Spirit showed me the death card first, y'all. And I'm on YouTube too. And this is total destruction. But ain't it beautiful? And keep that in mind. Then they showed me the Mother of God, which is also representative of the High Priestess card. And I hope y'all can see that energy that she got on her. We know that that's Big Mama energy. And then, just in case I wasn't paying attention, Spirit said, boom, I'm talking to you. The High Priestess again. The Star card. And then the Matriarch, which is also nurture your harvest. All right. So a lot of y'all been praying for stuff. Y'all been manifesting. Some of y'all know that y'all been in what y'all considered holding patterns, supposedly. And you really wasn't in holding patterns because you've been in movement. But a lot of us don't want to actually give credit to the small gestures, the small movements, the small shifts that were taking place, because we're waiting for the big thing. And we get out of this space of having, like I said, grace with ourselves, and we're desiring to want to be in positions of having this urgency. And I don't know why I have the Rihanna song in my head, Desperado. There's this level of desperation sometimes that comes in. Y'all, my face is getting so tight with this face mask. Um, there's this level of desperation because of our desire to be in movement. But you were always meant to be at the rate that you're at right now, even with the amount that you've been able to complete, which is why this coming out at the end was so important. Because a lot of times when we're in the midst of a season of endings, and we've had to recognize that things have transformed, which is what the 9 represents. And some of us had it started, January 1. Some of us, it started out automatically. Some of us, it started before the year ended. Some of us are aware that March is when a lot of the energy is really, really going to hit, and we're going to miss a lot of stuff because we are being put in position. And if you wasn't sure, Big Mama made it clear that there are some things that you've been knowing, right? And this is the thing that becomes difficult for a lot of us. We have layers of awareness. We've woken up to parts of our gifts. We have these feelings, these emotions that live within us. We have these desires that live within us. We've made firm decisions. We've created boundaries. We've been working towards ourselves. This is for the people who've been doing the work. If this conversation is not for you, let it fly. Okay. This is Star with the Star Blooms. My apology for not introducing myself. Thank y'all for that. We've had some steps that we've been taking, okay? And what I know to be true is that once you get to a certain rate, the phobias, these fears, these hangups, these holdups that you previously had about yourself, they go out the door. They're gone. Like, I'm not in a position to where I'm willing to sit and communicate with you about my worth anymore. I'm not in a position to where I'm sitting and willing to convince anybody to be on my campaign anymore. And it's not about ego. A lot of us have been placed in these spaces where people feel like we're getting too big for our britches. That's what the ancestors said. Well, you're getting too big for your britches now. They want you to hold up, right? They want you to stop what you're doing because you're starting to agitate and you're starting to disrupt and dismantle what they believe to be true about you. And a lot of times, what we don't understand and what we don't give ourselves credit for, by being in grace with ourselves, by staying in faith with ourselves, because we recognize the favor that's been placed over us, we don't give ourselves credit for the truth that lives within because we're not wanting to know. And Spirit has came through loud and clear. You're not in a position anymore to be able to play these games no more. So you're going to know when it's knocking on your door, when it's not for you. You're going to know when it's calling you that it's not for you. You're going to know when the message comes through a text that it's not for you, whether it be air, land, whatever form that it's actually provided in. You're going to be aware of this. Do not be in a position to where you aren't willing to actually honor your rebirth, to honor that Aquarius energy, that knowing that you have, to honor that transformation that you've taken, and don't harvest or nurture the harvest that you've already have in your possession, that you've already worked towards, because you're trying to be in a situation to where you are being a get along to go along, because you want to make what these people say about you true, because you still hold, like, y'all, they're so loud. because a lot of times people want to put people in spaces and they want to limit people to what they're receiving based off of what they decided that they could receive. So if I wasn't able to go this far, that whole you ain't your daddy wasn't nothing, so you ain't gonna be nothing. It's some old school down south, wherever it may be at, some old school crap. Y'all got to get out of that space. Why? When I recognize that I need for nothing, that's when Source can provide me with everything. And some of us have been in predicaments to where we wanted to convince ourselves that we only need enough. I only need enough. Like, I only just want enough for me to have a roof over my head. I just want enough for me to buy a car. You want the small things that you're not willing to actually go into these spaces to honor the realization that more is here for you. To honor the space that more is here for you. I got to move this out, y'all. To honor the space that more is here for you. To be in this position to where you're willing to represent that more has actually arrived for you. To actually be in the position to where you holding true. Dang it. Y'all forgive me. I know I should have waited. It's like I can't though. I be trying to. I'm over here. My face is getting so tight and it's hard for me to get the message out because my face is tight. We're gonna do with that. That's better. I hope y'all hear me. Having desire to not actually focus on the things that you've already poured your energy into, that you and your spirit team has been working towards. Having the desire to want to actually be loose with your boundaries because of what somebody else is in need of. This year is going to teach us why setting those boundaries was so important. But if you have any rate where you aren't the priority, if you have any rate where anybody else's circumstances could come into the forefront and can take over what it is that you've actually been contributing to yourself, you putting yourself in a predicament to where you're not honoring the essence that you're carrying. And the more you allow yourself to be at this rate where you aren't desiring to actually say that this is where I'm going towards, this is where I'm at presently, and I'm grateful for this space. I have everything that I require in this space, but I'm desiring for this, and I have dreams of going here. These are things if I didn't have to worry about how I would get to these spaces, I'm also going to go beyond the dreams that I have for myself, and I'm going to list those too. The space that we're actually in the space where Big Mama actually comes in to agreement with her daughter. This is what's happening right now. You know what I mean? The earth and the water is literally meeting at this point. And when this occurs, I call this when earth and land meets. When this occurs, there is such a resonance that happens internally that is so profound that it can't not be it cannot be mistaken. But a lot of us have things that are showing up that are familiar to us. They're attached to things that have been deemed lifeless. They're attached to things that have actually cycled out. And because we in this space of feeling like, oh, nothing's happening, because we in this space of feeling like we're still in this window of trying to figure out if what we're doing is working, because we're loose on our favor, we're loose on our faith, we loose on our commitment to what it is that we've been working towards. We don't have no desire to be in dedication to the wealth that we actually are going to be administered. You receive your wealth energetically, y'all. It's your energy. It's your energy. If I'm wealthy in energy, there's no amount of money that I'll ever need. Why? Because I can go anywhere and I'll be abundant. 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 Y'all got some stuff that y'all working towards, but it's also some people that's trying to work on you. They can't stop the blessings that are coming to you. They can't keep you from the things that Spirit has decided for you. They can't change the trajectory of what you're destined for. Ain't gonna be no destiny swapping up in here. Do not allow these people to convince you that you need to basically be in agreement with them more so than you are with yourself. Spirit said to me, we get so caught up with wanting to pass a test with other people that we end up failing the test that we have with ourselves. And then we be disappointed and we get out of grace with ourselves because we lack the vision of the favor that's over us. And you don't know that this is favor. You got a whole clearance squad. You had a whole clearance squad. And some people don't look at death with honor and respect. Y'all been taught that you're supposed to honor and respect this thing because this is ancient information that's happening. This is ancient alignment that's occurring. There's a pressure that is actually coming into play. And yeah, it got to build up. But at the same time, if I'm still staying steadfast and unmovable in at least what I know to be true, sometimes it's not about what you're doing. Sometimes it's just about how you feel and how you're thinking. Sometimes it's just about how you're willing to surrender. Sometimes it's about how low you're willing to actually be and not have the desire to actually have the full sight, because you know that wherever you end up is exactly where you need to be because of whose hands you in. I know whose hands I'm in, y'all. If you know and you aware of whose hand you in, if you operating in your high priestess energy, whether you be male or female, you need to be in a predicament to where you carrying yourself like that. So people ought not be able to even come to you trying you, but they still will. And when they do, y'all have to be willing to make a commitment to yourselves to not put yourself in a predicament to where you're sacrificing. People want us to sacrifice ourselves for their enjoyment because they need to be right. The same people who need you to fail in this are the same people who need you to win because they need it to make sense why they weren't able to actually succeed at what they've been trying to do. I hope y'all hearing me. There's been a lot of stuff that's going on. Big Mama said after the fire, the water will come. And that's going to hit whoever it need to hit. And I'm sending grace and I'm sending, prayers and covering over the people who've been affected by these fires. And I ask that Spirit comes and finds them. I know that because of what's been moved away, that greater is for these people to receive. This is sometimes how things work. But after the fire, the water comes, y'all. And she's going to come in many forms, she said. Are you ready? Are you even into anticipation for me? Are you steadfast? Are you committed? Or are you in a position to where you're not willing to trust the thing that's been promised to you? Or are you nurturing your harvest? Are you protecting what I've already acquired? Like, you already been put in this space for you to be over this quadrant. And if you decide within your head that because your outside environment looks unsavory, looks unpleasurable, makes you feel like what you've already been speaking to Spirit about, and they ain't changed their story. You don't went into meditation, they over here celebrating, they might be showing you cake, you might be hearing the birthday song, you might be hearing congratulations. You keep on having these experiences where you feeling like there's this thing that you can't really digest. Some of us is having a hard time sleeping. Some of us is, you feel the build up of the shift occurring. And instead of you being in grateful anticipation and knowing that right here in this space that I found myself to be in, I've done everything because I'm not in a space where I'm actually disregarding the things that I've dedicated in consistency and been committed to because of the truth that I've been told about myself, because of how I'm knowing myself, because of how I'm representing whose it is that I am. I know who I belong to because I'm willing to actually step up and show myself accordingly. I'm not in a position to where I'm going to sit and continue to act like I'm not starved. Some of us want to be in a situation to where we say that we want the thing, but in truth, you still scared of being seen. And instead of you getting out of the position of convincing yourself that you're no longer afraid, instead of you actually allowing yourself to be dedicated and putting yourself out there, you're wanting to be in this space where you want to slip out of something or convict somebody or try to convict somebody to give you a foot up. But what if it was you that was going to create this shift? What if it was you basically just honoring, hey, I done did some work with myself. What if it was you honoring, like, I've been antsy because I was locked up, but now I'm back and I'm free. And that anxiety that I'm feeling is actually me being in a space where I'm free. And because I ain't never been free, I don't know what to do with this, and stay committed and nurture the harvest. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Don't convince yourself of a different version of the story to make what you're hearing, what you're receiving on the spiritual level make sense, because you rather honor what other people have decided that you get to have, because you're not in a position to where you're willing to resonate with the truth and the frequency of what you're actually moving towards. You've been making movements and you've been actually creating shifts, been happening with you, my friend. Shifts been happening. But if you're not aware that shit's been happening, but Spirit said that's a lie. We're gonna stop saying what we're not aware of, because High Priestess can't come out twice like this, y'all, and it not mean something. We ain't gonna talk about what's on the bottom of the deck. High Priestess wish fulfillment is on the bottom of the deck. High Priestess can't come out twice, and we still be in a predicament where we needing to go to somebody to tell us what we've been knowing. Why do you need confirmation for? Why do you need, you've been don't try to pass tests with other people. Don't continue to be in these situations and circumstances where you're trying to convince other people that you're worthy. Couldn't nothing come into this lady's essence and convince her that she isn't able to bask in the sun? Can't nothing convince her. She literally is accepting of everything, bare and still present, naked and still actually clothed in the truth, in her authentic expression. Y'all have to understand what it means to be reborn and have a rebirth, and spiritual rebirth at that. It's not just oh, I'm going from one cycle to the next. I'm going from my physical idea of myself to being able to nurture my essence, my true essence, my soul death that lives within me. A lot of y'all have to be willing to represent this unapologetically. Unapologetically. Carry what matters to you most, y'all. Carry what matters to you most. Some people gonna try to come up and convince you of how you need to change your mind about what you already decided about them. Don't do it. Y'all, I be in my head. I don't be in my head. I be in my own space. And I do, yeah, I do. I be having conversations with spirit. So that does add up to me saying I'll be in my head. I'll take that back and I'll fix it. But even in my head, I'm in a good space. I don't be overthinking no more. I allow myself to just be at ease. And it's so quiet there. So when I do receive information and people even try to come into my vortex, there's this beautiful space that I have where I allow whatever people are trying to do to be shut down. Before I go into communication with these people, I always go back to spirit. Now, I'm aware that I'm never disconnected with spirit. But the reality of it is that because I've created these systems. I know what works for me. Because I've had commitment to what I have rituals to what I've been dedicated to what I've actually been doing. Even when I'm not stagnant. Some of y'all need to hear that. Because you've been so convinced of the Joe Smo job mentality that you got to get 40 hours in order for you to get a full paycheck. My mama's child. My mama's child. Always been my mama's child, my physical mama and my spiritual mama. I'm my mama's child. When she tell me to sit down and be still, I sit down and be still. There's no worry. There's no confusion. I know what I know. And it's a deep knowing. It's a rich knowing. It's a royal understanding and interpretation. When my land meets my water, there's a surrender that happens. There's a surrender that happens. Y'all can call daughter Earth, mother Earth, okay? Y'all can call Gaia, whatever y'all need to call her. And in some pantheons, I respect all pathways. She is called mother. But the reason why both of these had to come up is because we literally in Capricorn and we're going to be in water in a couple of days. It's a different type of knowing, y'all. It's integrity and ancient memory that's coming together. So when I say I utilize this energy and I'm saying I feel this way, what I'm utilizing with the sacred measure. And what I feel it with honor and respect because it's ancient. And when I represent the rebirth, I understand that the thing that's going to be reborn because a death has occurred is the thing that had to go that was physical. And the thing that is eternal, do y'all see all of this blue energy in here, y'all? I know y'all hear me. Sometimes it don't take a whole lot. We ain't going to be here for a long time, but it's going to be a good time. Sometimes it don't take a whole lot. Y'all got some people that's trying to test y'all. Some people who forgot the decisions that they made with your energy. They show up wrapped in familiarity. They show up familiar. You know me, is what they say. You know me. You know me. If you've disconnected, if you've created boundaries, don't allow people to disrespect the boundaries because they see the favor on you, that you forget the favor that you carry, that you relinquish the grace and the glory that you're moving towards because of your desire to pass tests with people, with groups. The ancestors, they frustrated with this message, y'all. If y'all keep on, I'm like agitated. They don't want to have to say this, okay? Get y'all shit together. Make y'all decision. Choose your side. Pick your side. Stay on your side, okay? Represent your side. Don't be in a predicament to where you out here no more, trying to convince other people of the story that's been told to you, but you're not willing to show up in representation of what you are aware that you are now carrying. You've been carrying something this whole time. Big Mama comes with gems. Like, do y'all see all of this in here? Do y'all see these sacred jewels? Do y'all see the planets, the star system? Do y'all see the ancient? Do y'all see these daggone peacocks? Do y'all see the history? Like, come on. It's not a situation to where you're going to come out at the bottom of anything. How can you? When you recognize whose you are. And a lot of y'all know. A lot of y'all know. The Legion of Lions is what I just heard. Legion. Be okay with everything that's happening, y'all. Don't get too caught up in the midst of stuff. It's some stuff that they don't want y'all to see, which is why a lot of this stuff is happening anyways. I was told that some faults that is in the water, some belts that's in the water is going to be released and broken. Things is about to happen and occur. But if you're aware that what you've been representing is the truth, go within the truth, y'all. 752. Go within the truth. Be okay with the truth. Be okay in representing what you've been nurturing. Continue to nurture that thing. Continue to have temperance with yourself and be balanced with it. Be okay with the decision and carry over. Don't worry about what is happening outside your door. Don't worry about the things that are going unsaid. Don't worry about the confrontations that you normally would have had. If something in your spirit makes you aware of what you don't need to be doing, move accordingly and allow yourself to not have phobias, based off of lies that are dead and gone. This dead does not, it doesn't exist. We're not going to entertain it no more. It has no life. This is stagnant. What isn't stagnant is what you've been moving in. And the more you recognize that your movement has been eternal and it's been internal, okay, you'll be able to be in a position to where you don't really care about I need for nothing. I want for nothing, but I have everything. Why is this? Because I knows who. I know who. I know who. Star card didn't come out for nothing. I know who I am. All right, I can't say that I'm the star and then not be willing to show up in the truth of what I've been representing, because my desire of wanting to get other people to be okay with the things that I've committed to, and wanting to be in a position to where I create layers of pause, because I keep on wanting to tell myself that I'm in a holding window when I haven't stopped at all. I might have actually allowed things to die off. I may have made decisions that I was guided to make, but I'm not in a predicament to where I've actually, okay, do y'all hear me? I hope y'all receiving this. I hope you in a space where you honoring yourselves. Y'all do some work as far as being willing to sit within yourself or just sit still, period, long enough to see where you've been going. It's okay to reflect. It's not a look back thing. It's okay to have a energy of being able to take reverence over what's occurred. It's okay to see the shifts that you've made already. It's okay to see how far you've come. It's okay to see, like, you got to understand it. Somebody said this and it was so loud. They said, you don't understand how many people is behind these people that you see winning, right? They got whole groups, whole teams. And a lot of y'all have whole groups, whole teams that's coming up against y'all to keep y'all from getting to where y'all actually going to. And you've been doing this by yourself. Spiritually, you deep, but physically, you've been tarrying, steadfast, faithful, favored, staying in grace, knowing that glory exists for you, knowing that you get to have what it is that you are, knowing you've been a team of one physically. Imagine what'll happen when you get a team. Imagine what happens when your help comes. Imagine what happens when the shift occurs and how you've been wanting those real friends, they actually show up. People show up as your friend, but then they'll try to discount you and your energy. Spirit said we already dealt with that. We already dealt with that. We're not going to be in a position to where we're even going to be willing to entertain it because mama here. Big mama, like, I'm here. I'm here. You will be crowned. Don't convince yourself of another version of the story. Y'all got this. Be encouraged. All of these things, they were meant to happen. And a lot of these things are above our pay grade. We don't have to worry about what these people hide. And there's some people getting locked up right now because of the stuff that they've been doing to these kids. The stuff that they still been doing even after the people that they don't release. They found new and different ways to be able, 3339 when I said that. They found new and different ways for them to try to attack kids. They got weird ass people online and social medias that's actually creating YouTube account and the TikTok shit. They got people out here creating accounts, and you don't got to have no permission. They could just say that it's either for kids and not, and they could make derogatory and inappropriate content for our kids to be able to have access. They are out here still doing the stuff that they've been told that they wasn't supposed to do. Like I said, I'm sending prayers and love to the people who going through what they're going through. We know a cover up when we see a cover up. Be able to read between the lines and actually see what's occurring. What was going on this time? I love y'all. Be intentional with your energy. Stay focused. Don't force yourself to be in situations to where you're wanting to meet somebody else's quota that you miss yours. You and Spirit been working on something. There's a deadline that you had. It's not about the time frame. Once you release the time frame, you recognize one, shit been moving so fast, y'all. Shit been moving so fast. Once I even released the way, because Spirit said I got many ways that I could do something. You don't got to be attached to this. You don't got to be connected with this. I have many ways that I could get you where I need to get you at. But sometimes we be so fucking convinced that we got to do it this way that we limit our receipt and we limit our egress and we limit our flow because we have these attachments. If you even allow just your attachments to actually die off, if you recognize that whatever vehicle you've been in isn't moving and they've decided that you need to be doing something differently, but Spirit is telling you, take inventory of what's taking this last bow. I'm different. I like to actually supersede that, and I like to give things a proper exit. Okay, I don't want to wait. Don't put me in a predicament to where I'm in something that's falling down. I want to be so close with you, Ma, that you're going to let me know beforehand. Look, because she does. She let me know before this, hey, baby, total destruction. Okay? We're not about to, ain't no tower falling. Everything's gone. It's all gone. Okay? And you know why? The ways that got you here may not be the ways that will take you from here. The path that you took to come into this place may not be the path that you'll take to exit. The Spirit said you don't want it to be. Y'all be decent or not. It's up to you. Be out here, be intentional with your energy, focus, do what it is that you need to do. Be claiming, be calling in what it is that you're desiring for. If y'all want to read in with me, my link is in my bio. Please do not reach out to me, y'all. If y'all want, I don't do that. My energy is mine. My energy is not on Lelway. My energy is not no temporary. I'm not that. Don't disrespect me and don't disrespect yourselves. Because a lot of times what we don't understand is we connect to people and we be wanting people to make exceptions to boundaries that they've created while we're trying to learn how to actually honor and create boundaries for ourselves. That ain't no abundance in that. And if we know that we're wealthy people, even if you don't have it right now, at some point you may have it. We don't even have to get into the point of not being able to afford or whatever. You have whatever it is that you need right now at this time. I have everything I need. I'm in need for nothing. So I'm in receipt of everything that is for me. And what's for me is going to find me. If I'm for you, everything going to be aligned. Ain't no questions that need to be asked. Ain't nothing that need to be worked out. Ain't no workarounds. All right? Because I can't work around my spirit. I can't do that. And we all got responsibilities here, y'all. So we're going to honor ourselves by being intentional and by nurturing our harvest. This is a beautiful, beautiful harvest y'all have waiting for y'all. But you got to know that. You got to know that. You got to put your hands on it. And even if you can't visualize it, even if you can't see it for yourself, even if you're still in a space where you're not sure that you're really, really going to get what you're hoping for, keep your faith. Because sometimes we have something that's so tiny, y'all. It's done got us through years. So tiny. Super, super tiny. Mustard seeds are super like they like rice. Maybe a little bit smaller. Okay? Some of y'all been holding on to just one mustard seed this whole time. Y'all ain't even got a bowl full of mustard seeds to give. You holding on to one mustard seed. Y'all been going through some stuff. My heart goes out to y'all because I've been there with y'all. And it's hard to convince the mind and the body of what the soul and the spirit is doing. It's hard to get in alignment with what is actually occurring on so many different layers and so many different levels. So you at some point have to give way to one thing in order for something else to come in and to take over. And a lot of times what happens is when that other thing comes in and it takes over, we want to start fighting. We want to start pushing back. We want to start going to the hospital because we having these ascension symptoms, but we thinking that it's something else. So we trying to get a pill to fix it. We trying to get this. You're going to have to allow the way that you were doing things before to go. So you could be able to be in representation of what is right now and allow this rebirth to occur because this is what you want. Y'all want this. You want what it is that you're asking for. So utilize what has actually been placed before you as tools so you could be able to get to the depth of you and actually seek to actually be aligned with that ancient feeling, with that ancient knowing that lives within. There's something that Big Mama has carrying for you, literally specifically. It's tailored to you. And if you're in a position to where you still trying to live your world external in, you're going to be in a position to where you receiving what the world has decided for you. And we ain't about to have that shit. We ain't going to have no parts of it. Peace. Y'all have a good day, a good night. My bad. A good night. It's 8:04. And yes, peace.